Okay, so I have a few weird things. Like right now, I don't know. It seemed like it was sometime yesterday or something. I don't know. I've lost so much track of time. But everything changed. Like it becomes more and more clear to me that I'm in a dream. Like I don't know how to explain it, but like things are changing, like what things look like and how I feel in a room and stuff. It's weird. So like I can tell there's huge shifts happening, and it's out of our control. And I think part of the awakening has to go kind of slow because of, like I had talked about before, when you go down in the ocean, like getting the bends. I think it's that same kind of thing for our consciousness and our expansion. And I saw a thing yesterday that I found so interesting, and I thought she did a perfect explanation of what I have not been able to say and get across. But so she was explaining the earth plane as a bubble in the ocean. And so remember, I said a bubble on a tree. So a bubble has the top and then the land mass, but then it has a bubble over it. And she's talking about it as a full bubble, which, a bubble would have an underneath too. If you see a bubble, it has a part that's underneath. So it is a bubble, and the earth plane that we think is the world we live in is inside of that. Like there's stuff under, there's stuff above, but it's held in a bubble. And the bubble is in the ocean. So see, this is not air and atmosphere all around us. We are in a bubble, so we have that air. Like if a boat turned over and you were up in the boat, there would be a part that would have air up at the top. You'd move towards the top. That is like what we're in this bubble. That's why we think, that there's air and atmosphere beyond the bubble, but it's not. It's the firmament is like holds the other waters out, but it's not like water is like an ocean. It's not like the firmament would bust and then all of it would just come in and we'd be underwater. I mean, geez, who knows, maybe that's maybe that's what is going to happen. I don't know. But what if that were to happen? Then we would have raising our vibration would it prepare us for that to happen. So I don't know, but the bubble where it resides in the ocean depends on the frequency and resonance of that atmosphere, that reality. And, all of the different bubbles all around us are all different realities. Like people get this idea, like they don't understand, they don't understand about size and stuff. Like we can feel huge and still be tiny. Do you think germs feel like they're tiny? I think spiders kind of get the idea that they're tiny. People, I'm still traumatized by my spider incident the other day. I feel so horrible about it. Oh, I can't believe how it just keeps eating at me. And there's, a couple spiders in the bathroom, and I just keep leaving them be. And they aren't big like the one I put outside, but I just keep, this one, he's always running around, he'll watch me and stuff, and then he'll run the other way. Spiders don't run towards us. They run away from us. We look big and we're a lot of movement and scary. And then when you find out about how the snakes can smell nicotine and stuff, like animals have an awareness, that's beyond our understanding, and insects, all of it. So what they're drawn to and what they're, pushed away from or whatever. I can't think of the word. I'm so beside myself right now. On top of the people thinking that it's okay to, there's certain groups of people that we don't need on this planet. They don't have any, who cares about them? Oh my God, I can't even believe this. And on top of that, these same people, they want censorship. They actually want censorship. They don't want to have to be dealing with people's ridiculous stuff that they're telling them. They want that stuff to be taken away. What they want is fucking, I don't know. dance videos of people, you know, who are 100 pounds overweight, who are shaking all their fat. So then the people can make fun of them. I mean, I just, this world is so dark. It's so dark. It blows my mind. Yesterday, I don't know if it was yesterday. Might have been yesterday or the day before. I have no track of this stuff anymore. And I was talking to the neighbor, and the guy behind us, you know, had said a few weeks back or a few months back or sometime in the recent past, the neighbor behind me died. And so she was talking about his house sold in one day. And he's got like a double lot. His house is like a double wide trailer from the 50s or something. Like, it's all dilapidated, it's falling apart, it's full of mice and everything. And he's got another little outbuilding, and it's got water and electricity to it. And so his place, he's got a sweet deal going there. Like, somebody scored on that place. And I mean, they're gonna have to tear down that building and put it in a new structure, but oh my gosh, they scored big time. And so she was talking about how crazy it was. It sold in one day. It wasn't even on the market one day. And she said, I bet you that it was like a bidding war to get it, because it was for sale for $150. The other houses around here are selling for $350, $400. So so we're out there talking about, you know, like the people who are moving behind us. They're obviously going to have a lot of money. They're obviously, you know, going to rip down that house and do some other stuff. And there's been a lot of action back there. And, you know, oh, yay, we'll have more construction. We don't have enough of that around here. And then plus Stella is just like having a fit because she's not used to. The guy was an old sick guy. He never came out. So she's not used to anyone being back there. And now all of a sudden there's all these people back there. So while we're standing out there talking, and I was like, oh, I wonder if he died in the house. Like, ooh, that's kind of creepy. He's just laying back there dead, and we're just walking around here, not just living our own lives. Not even, I mean, how sad is that? And then they said, no, he went to the hospital, never got out. So he had been on oxygen. I mean, that guy was sickly. I think he smoked. He was on oxygen. The houses in it, the walls are all nicotine, and you know, it's one of those kind of houses where it's, you know, a really sickly old person who has not, you know, probably cut off from family, and just, you know, it's what happens to a lot of older people. They don't do their healing. They don't fix the stuff with other people. They just grow more bitter and more sicker. You know, it's part of the problem. It's part of the programming. It's part of, you know, the control. And so while we're talking about this, and the neighbor, and they're they're so three-dimensional. I live around so many people that are just absolutely trapped in the three-dimensional matrix. You know, they don't even look outside of their existence, their life. They're just doing their thing, and, you know, nothing's going on in the world around them. They're just living their life, nothing happening here. And so, you know, they don't have a clue. And, you know, we've had the planes going over and over and over nonstop. I mean, it's picked up so much, and it's so clear. I'm not talking about the spraying planes. I'm not talking about those. You don't hear those. This is fighter jets going over us all day long. And it's so loud, and it's so obvious. And it's just like, why do you not question this? So they're going and going and going. And yesterday I see two neighbors out there, the one across the street and the one next door that I'm going to finish this other story about. And they're out there just talking. And a noisy plane went over, and then another one went over the other way. And they just kept sitting there talking. They didn't even look up. Nothing. Like I said before, I swear to God, a spaceship could land in the middle of the street and the neighbors would just be standing out there talking about, did you see the game last night? That was really great. I mean, they've not stopped with watching the football or anything. They're just, oh God, it's so bizarre. So anyways, in this conversation, she starts saying that, well, we should just, we should start having state-run facilities for people over 60. This is someone telling me this. We should start having these state-run facilities for people over 60 so that they, old people can go and be in a home. That they shouldn't have to live like that. They should be in facilities, where the state pays for everything. I was just like, I mean, to me, those are fighting words. It's just like, okay, reel it in, Kelly. Come on, calm down. This conversation would go nowhere. She has no idea that the government, she has no idea about state-run agencies. She has no idea about the, freedom or anything. They thought when I put the flag out that I was a true racist, so this is the mentality we're talking. So yeah, we should have people, over 60 should be able to move in. I can't even believe this. I'm about to turn 61. I guess I should just be shipped off to one of those state facilities because, I mean, what year is this? Is it 1984? I'm not quite sure. I think it might be. I think we may have just walked right into a book of terror. I kind of even feel like we're in the Hunger Games as well. Like I really feel like I'm in such a bizarre world right now. So, I said, well, when I was a nurse and I was going to these places, this is not any place anybody should be. You shouldn't be in a state-run anything. And she seemed shocked. Like, well, no, I think it would be a lot better, because it's not good for how they are having to live like this. It's like, well, I think that money should be put into people, their houses should be up to a certain standard. There should be money put into that, not like, hey, you can't live on your own anymore. We'll decide and we'll just put you in a facility. It's not up to you. Yeah, there's a lot of old people living in squalor. That should be changed. But not, oh, you're at a point of having squalor. Oh, you only make $500 a month. Oh, your family won't speak to you. Oh, okay, well, can we just put you in this little place over here until you die? I'm just so disgusted by people, the way they think. It is just so fucking mind-blowing. So I said, and besides the fact that is, it's a mecca. That's the job that, I think she said, well, as long as they have nice people working there. I said, yeah, but most of the people who work there are drug addicts and go to work there because it's easy access to pills. And, when you're working around old people who don't know what is going on, it's an easy target to steal from. Like, I've been to these places. And people just sit there and think like, oh, yeah, that's the way it should be. Well, it used to be old people were with their family. There was a certain amount of respect. You raised me, I'll be there for you. The controllers have made sure to wipe that clean off the slate. That's crazy talk. We'll take your old people for you. Give them to us. We got some tests we'd like to run. Like, what happened at the beginning of all this? Was there some people targeted? I don't know. I haven't even heard a lot about that guy, have we? I haven't heard. He's probably already executed, when somebody's been in the news, and all of a sudden they're just gone. Where'd they go? What happened to them? Yeah, I would imagine he's probably executed for how many people he killed. People who think like it's just people are disposable. Oh, yeah, well, my mom was mean to me. God, she told me that I shouldn't do this, and I'm never speaking to her again. God, she's such a narcissist. And then just not disposable. Where did you get your life from? Who raised you? Who wiped your little dirty ass? It's like, what the hell is going on with people? This is just, it's mind-boggling where people think. And then to sit there and be like, not just the old people are disposable. Homeless people, disposable. People who are, I mean, it won't take very long to be disabled people. Well, they don't need a liver. I mean, they're barely functioning. Like, there is no respect for life. No respect for life itself. They all want to play God. This is what happens when science becomes your God and you detach from humanity. You detach from the natural world. Then, you know, it's become sick. There's so much sickness that my thoughts on this programming now is, I mean, it's so much worse than what I thought. And, you know, before I read the comments this morning on my thing and then saw, you know, the community, even after I appealed, they're like, oh no, this does not, we can't have something like this. You know, how many times that I have had strikes on me for, I'm not saying anything that's not true. And, you know, they just give you strike after strike after strike. All they want to do is silence people who don't want to go along with the program. But this morning, after that happened, you know, I kept thinking about it, like, because when I go to my kitchen window looks directly out over their front yard. So every time I go into the kitchen, and plus I can't see. So when I'm trying to look, you know, it takes me a minute to figure out what's out there. What am I seeing? What is that? So I'll just see like shapes and colors and I'll keep trying to be like, what is that thing? You know, and so their yard is right there. So I see them outside all the time. And you know, I'll see them out there just, you know, living their lives. And so I was like, because after that conversation yesterday, they were outside doing all this stuff, and they have two tiny kids, and they've got a big trampoline, which, you know, there's no fucking way I'd have a trampoline. And so right there, it's like, do you even know the dangers? And you've got your kids out there just jumping around on them, like, go speak to some orthopedic surgeons if they think, yeah, put a trampoline in your yard. No. Go speak to some neurologists. See how many that they've had to deal with brain damage and stuff. No. You would not, if you had awareness of certain things, you would not put certain things out for your kids to play on. So, and it's always these people who think that they, you know, are very well, that they know everything going on. So it gives them a certain arrogance. But whatever. Anyways, while I was sitting there, I was watching the kids jumping on the trampoline, and the parents are out, you know, doing some work around the yard. And I was thinking, you know, there's a purpose to oblivion, living in a three-dimensional world. To just go out there and live your life and deal with your problems. And, you know, how I said, it's, for consciousness, what is the word? I've got so many things going in my head right now. And my emotions are just really charged up. See, I'm seeing, it's the development. The development of a child is the same as the development of a consciousness. It goes through the same kind of stages. So I was in, you know, the three-dimensional world is about these experiences. So you can come in and you can experience yourself. You can grow. You can experience who you are in different situations, so you have an understanding more of who you are. And so while I was watching them, I was thinking, okay, you know, she is oblivious to a lot of things, but, you know, sometimes for some people, if you want to be in the three-dimensional world, then ignorance is bliss, to just go and focus on your life and not worry about anything else. So I was like, you know, I wonder, they're just over there living their life, and I'm sitting here thinking, you know, oh, wake up, everybody wake up. You know, and some people aren't going to wake up. You know, some people are just going to come and do their 3D thing and, you know, transition out. Like, I don't know each person's individual thing, but that is a part of it. That is going to be a part of what's going on. And I even started thinking, like, is it going to be that some of us in this ascension process, and I know I've said this before, and this is in the Bible about that tribulation or rapture or whatever, where we just cease to exist in the same reality, like somehow there's a separation, and we just disappear from each other. I don't know. It seems like it very well could be. But while I was watching them, and they, just living their life in this three-dimensional world, just, existing in the dollhouse, then I thought, maybe a big part of it is for us who are awakened is just to allow these people, just go live your 3D life, go live your life. You're here for a different purpose than I'm here. I'm here to ascend. I'm here to awaken. I'm here to question my reality. I'm here to look around and understand what this world is. I'm here to understand who and what I am, to expand self. And so, other people aren't at that level in the process of development. They're still way down there and like, hey, I don't even know who I am. I don't even know what I am. Maybe I'm a nice person. Maybe I'm not. I don't know. And they still have to go through a lot of lives to get to that point. And I know I've said this before, and I know I have repeated epiphanies of the same thing. That's the part of the brain injury life. And it's so crazy too, as the other day I said something about the movies. I was showing a movie. It just really hit me. I was watching this movie, and weirdly enough, somebody commented and said, I just watched that movie yesterday and thought the same thing. But somehow when I was watching this movie, and it was, what's his name? He's in so many movies. His sister used to be so popular when I was younger, and he wasn't. And then he became popular and she wasn't. It's weird. But it's Justin Bateman, right? His name's Justin, I think. But he was in the movie. It had Dax Shepard. It had a whole bunch of people, of course. When it's got programming at its best, you got to get pull in the big guns. So it just showed this guy, and he was walking in, and what he did and how he talked and who he was talking to and what he was saying. I was like, oh my gosh, they are just full on modeling behavior so that people who have no self-identity watch it, and that they go and like model that same behavior. Like, kind of like grown adults. Like if you think about like a 2-year-old with their dad, and their dad's in the kitchen doing something, and the 2-year-old starts copying to be like the dad. That is what they have, grown-ass adults that watch these shows and model their behavior. Like it's like a modification that they're trying to do of this programming and indoctrination. It's so deep when you really start looking at it. But how to, when I saw that and I had this epiphany, like they are seriously trying to show people. And I've talked about this before, like when I was talking about, these girls who were like, oh, well, in the movies, they don't use babysitters. I didn't know. I thought my kids could just stay there while I went out. I didn't know. People are oblivious. Like, it is kind of like they have pulled people into this concept of like living the life of who you idolize, be like them, walk like them, talk like them, and maybe you can have a life like them. It's like, it's just weird. Like, I think you have to see it or you don't see it, or you start seeing it at certain levels, because it's definitely, I just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger of how in depth the programming and indoctrination is, and how far it's gone, how sick that this society has really become. I mean, when people, it's enough when people are abusive towards animals and the planet and don't give a shit, about other life and existence. But then when they even get to their own species and start being like, yeah, well, it's okay, you know, if you eat them, what else are you going to do with them? It's like they truly, it's not even sheep. These people are ants. They're literally ants. Yeah, I know. I'm just really beside myself today. There was a bunch of other stuff I wanted to talk about, and I'm still like, I really just need to calm down and get myself out of this headspace of being, you know, like, oh my God, is awakening to the fact that I am, you know, that there's a huge percentage of psychopaths in this world. You know, a psychopath is somebody who has no empathy, no compassion towards other human beings. And they live amongst us. They look at us with disdain. They look at us with hopes that a purge opens up. They've all got their eyes on somebody, you know, and not even just a somebody. They've got their eyes on groups of people that they would take out. Like, I don't know. I mean, there's nothing at this point that I wouldn't believe. I mean, if Joe went on the news tonight and said, hey guys, you know, the smartest thing we could do right now is we're going to open it up. Everybody gets 12 hours, kill whoever you want. It's okay. It would be just like that. I couldn't even watch that movie. I saw like the first part where they said that, and then people started locking their doors, and then the psychopaths started putting on masks because, you know, that's how they go in life. Come up with user 5432, put on an emoji, put on a little fake face, put on what are those little things called? You know, they all scoop them up. You know, I'm not going to be who I am. I'm going to put on this little character. I'm a character. I'm user 5369. I have got no ties to you people. I'm here to murder. It's like, oh my God, I don't know. I don't know. It's 5/2 today, so I mean, we're 3 days off from 5/5. If 5/5 is a relevant date, that something big is going to happen. There's more stuff leading up, you know, to what's going on. More clips that I see on TikTok of different news that people are sharing, national news and global news and stuff. So there's definitely stuff building up, and you know, all of this stuff, you know, I've been saying for a while how it's starting to expose not just the truth, but it's exposing what's at people's core. And when I had said before, you know, people were becoming so transparent. It's like you can see through people now. They can't hide who they truly are. Well, it's just getting more and more to the surface. And there's truly, truly evil people that just have no compassion whatsoever. And, you know, it's one of those things. It's like, you know, you better start knowing who your neighbors are. I mean, there's no telling what's next. So I'll be back when I calm myself down.